At this time, I'd like to introduce Vicki Stodgedill of Stodgedill Appliances in Des Moines.
Well, I don't do this every day, so bear with me. I just wanted to mention too, thank you everybody for coming. You're like me, you have somewhere else you would normally be right now. But because we are sick of what our state and federal government are doing, we're here to send a message. And I want to say thank you to everybody. This is awesome. And I'm concerned about the effect these increased taxes will have, not just on my business, but on every business in Iowa. Families are already stretched to the limit, and more taxes are not the answer. As many of you know, our governor has increased spending faster and higher than any other governor in our state's history. And that was before the floods and tornadoes of 2008. So instead of showing leadership, he wants to borrow more. That's not the answer. They've been on a 2-year spending spree with our checkbook, and it has to stop. I'm calling on our governor and legislators today to scrap the quick fix idea of taking away our federal deductibility and get back to work on a real fix by cutting spending. As a small business owner and an employer, my business pays tens of thousands of dollars in taxes, payroll taxes and property taxes, all kinds of taxes every year. And I understand the need for some taxes to pay for basic services that we all need, but many of our government have forgotten what those taxes are supposed to be going for. Yeah, things like defending our borders, maintaining a strong military, maintaining a court system to hear civil grievances, not to take advantage the way these guys are doing, and to provide peacekeeping safety through police and fire. These proposed tax changes may be revenue neutral this year, but when you look at the next few years, they know that as the federal budgets and federal taxes skyrocket, our state taxes are going to skyrocket right along with them. All the while, it's going to crush Iowans with more tax burden. And it snowballs from there. When fewer people have less money to shop with, fewer employees are necessary, so we have fewer jobs, fewer payroll taxes and revenue for the state, and fewer sales taxes. Then when more Iowans move out of the state to find a job, that's less property taxes. So it just goes on and on. Ronald Reagan once said that if you tax something, you'll get less of it. And historically that's shown to be true. You can't tax and spend your way into prosperity. It's been tried and failed. In our business at the end of the month, I have to be able to pay my bills. I have to pay my vendors and my employees. If I don't pay them, nobody else is going to. Our government has to begin to operate within its budget and within its means and stop spending. Stop spending money they don't have. It's immoral to spend the money of our children and grandchildren who haven't even been born yet to have a voice in this issue. If we don't stop them, we'll be allowing our state and national leaders to voluntarily take away the very freedoms for which our founders gave their lives in sacred honor in establishing. It's time that we return to our foundations in government, in which we the people hold the reins instead of these tyrants up here. Our state and federal governments, they've lost their focus and they're out of control. We need to remind them that our rights and freedoms come from God Almighty, not from the government. I'm also a wife and a mom. And I'm concerned that if we allow a relative few people to continue to take away these freedoms, that our great state that I was born and raised in isn't going to be that same state for my kids to grow up in. I've talked with these legislators face to face in several sessions in the past and just last week, and it's become clear to me that they're not listening. They've forgotten who elected them, and they've forgotten who they work for. With all of you, I'm calling on our legislators and governors today to do whatever it takes to protect our current laws and our current state code regarding marriage that defines it as one man and one woman. Internal rules and procedures than our principles. It's time for them to go. It's time to go back to the drawing board on our state budget. We've elected them to be leaders. It's time for them to step up and do that. They need to cut spending back to the levels they were 2 or 3 years ago and make those tough choices that we elected them to make. We expect them to do this with no new taxes and protect our federal deductibility. If you don't hear what we're saying today, I hope you'll stand with me in 2010 and replace every one of them. Everyone that raises our taxes and takes away our federal deductibility, they gotta go. Today, when this event is over, I hope that all of you will go back to your neighborhoods and your communities and be vocal. Tell everyone you can about this important process that we've started today. Remind your elected representatives who they work for. Call them, send them emails, letters, anything you can do, but talk to your neighbors and get them involved. If they don't listen, our only choice is to replace them. Enough is enough. Let's begin this march today, and may God be with us. Thank you.